We made a video the other day about not looking good that we would be able to surpass the 2015 best, the select elderberry variety from 2015, it potentially would not be surpassed, beaten. And we're still not 100% done with ripening everything, but right now, over the next 2 to 4 weeks probably, we're going to be examining the final berry size and shape and flavor, I guess. So our early tests indicate that there are varying degrees of acidity and sugar in a lot of these. Some of them taste like your typical wild, elderberry, kind of bland, not really sweet, but not really acidic. We have at least 2 trees that are like highly acidic, like maybe not as bad as lemons, but in that kind of range. Strawberries, lemons. This wild one here that is highly productive has an okay berry size, and it has average or maybe slightly above average sweetness. So this is what, I would consider a good wild seedling that has been growing here for many years. Not it's less acidic or more sweet than the other wild ones around here. I can tell you that when you eat a berry, just stick it in your mouth, not swallowing it, just getting the juice and the flesh in your mouth, it has the typical, elderberry flavor that you're probably used to if you've, made jams and jellies from wild elderberries that you picked on a railroad track or ditches or retention ponds or wherever in the woods. Showed you guys our first Adams cross here, which was crossed with a wild elderberry. Pretty good production, a lot of berries, a lot of flower heads. They're just smaller flower heads. They have that typical kind of improved red stem, where the flower heads turn into berries. As the berries start ripening, they turn more red or purple. This guy is a highly acidic berry. Here is one of our original seedlings that we brought in. Fairly small berries, pretty good production. Average taste, it's maybe a little more acidic than that first seedling that had been there, for like 30, 40 plus years. But yeah, if you taste that typical elderberry taste, that you would get from the wild, because these are wild ones, and I guess there are some variations with sugar and acidity and stuff like that. And I can't tell you like if the soil, fertilizer, compost, sun, shade, and if any of that really affects the flavor or not in these guys. We haven't really fertilized them, but they grow in, different areas 1,000+ feet apart with different levels of shade and sun, different levels of nutrients in the soil. The ones growing in the old goat barn are full of goat urine, goat manure, hay decomposing, in full shade, or a lot of shade, I should say. There's varying shade up and down the whole little lot there, but 2015 bests, they are not even ripe yet. Got some big seed or flower heads up there. Could be a few more weeks before we get to do a side-by-side taste comparison, I guess one of the good things about this is a later producing variety. So if any of the other ones that produce earlier just gives you an extra week or 2 of production, maybe longer, and extends your season. Back at the old goat run, and I taste tested this guy. There's some bitterness there. I don't Don't get any of that acidity though. And this guy here. Kind of the same. Very similar to like a blueberry or something. These guys here, pretty darn sweet. Definitely in the same vein as like blueberries. This is another head. As you can see, it doesn't have a whole lot of the purple and the red on the stem. It has a little bit, but decent sized berries. Definitely some more sweet than normal, than most of them, I would say. Yeah, we need to wait a couple weeks, do some more taste tests side by side on everything, and see which ones are sweeter, the sweetest, and all that good stuff. And we might have another selection here to try to name and put out there for people. These guys here are growing in an old compost bed, so they're getting all sorts of nutrients. It didn't make it sweet by growing in a compost bed. These guys are highly acidic. So I guess the question is, what is more, what do you want your elderberries to be? Acidic or sweet, or just whatever the wild ones are? For me personally, when I get dewberries and mulberries and stuff, I like them to be on the acidic side. When I make a pie or cobbler, I like stuff on the acidic side. But a lot of the blueberries are not acidic, to begin with, so we add lemon juice and stuff like that to make them acidic and give them flavor. So, and I do not specifically like elderberry pie. I've had it a couple times, probably with different recipes, and it's too bitter for me. I definitely wonder how choosing like all sweet cultivars of elderberries would be, whether it be in a pie or jelly. So that's about it for today's episode of Elderberry Updates.